Yo, what's up, guys? In today's video, I got a bunch of Chicago Bulls news, rumors, and updates. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about last night's very ugly loss to the Timberwolves, talking about Billy Donovan calling out this Bulls team. He also gave some injury updates on Lonzo Ball and a few other Bulls players, and also talking about, of course, the blow it up rumors. And behind those rumors, there's supposedly some movement and active trade talks. So nonetheless, let's just jump right into today's video. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, leave a quick like on today's video. It takes a second and helps me out a lot, and leave some comments and questions below today's video about all the topics I'm about to jump into. And of course, last night's very ugly and just frustrating, disappointing, I don't even know what to say, loss to the Timberwolves. I don't know, man. I mean, what more can I say? The Bulls allowed the Timberwolves to put up 150 points. Yeah, I said that correctly, 150 points. I'm sorry if, my attitude's a little down, but these past 10 games for the Bulls have been really ugly. The Bulls are now 2-8 in their last 10 games, and they're currently 11-18 on the NBA season. And the Bulls are in trouble, really big trouble. This team is an absolute mess. The energy, the effort, Billy Donovan's rotations, him not playing Andre Drummond for whatever reason. There is so much wrong with this team and roster. You could blame Arturas, you could blame Billy Donovan, you could blame the players, you could blame everyone. The list just goes on and on. The Bulls gave up 150 points. I don't care what team that is. 150 points, especially with the lackluster effort and just the energy. It's just so frustrating watching this NBA team. I mean, the Timberwolves didn't have Cat or Rudy Gobert, and they put up 150 points. I really don't know what more to say. I mean, there's not much to say. There's everything that could have went wrong this season has went wrong, and I don't think it's going to get any better. I think it's only going to continue to get ugly. Every NBA team, when they see the Bulls on that schedule, they're licking their chops. Every NBA team, especially the Timberwolves and the Knicks these past few games, they've been putting up season high in points, field goal percentage, three-pointers made, everything. The Bulls are just not a good basketball team. I don't know what more to say. Definitely leave some comments and questions below today's video about the Bulls' past games and just giving up 150 points. And speaking of the whole just Billy Donovan, Bulls problems, Billy Donovan, I do believe he deserves some criticism, but I don't believe he's the biggest problem. I honestly believe it's the Bulls front office and putting together this very poorly constructed roster in my eyes. Obviously, Billy's still a big problem, and much of the Bulls players are as well, but I am recording this right after the Bulls versus Timberwolves game, and Billy Donovan hasn't gave any post-game comments, but I know he's not going to be happy. He's going to call out the Chicago Bulls just like he did versus the Knicks the other day. He said the Bulls spirit just needs to be better, and this NBA team just needs to be better. And DeMar DeRozan agreed with Billy Donovan's comments and assessment of the Bulls. And DeMar DeRozan also said just the other day, we looked like shit. We have been playing awful. And I agree. I don't know what to say. DeRozan said we got to get tired of having this feeling and not competing and losing like this, especially on our home floor. It's not ideal where we're at, but hey, great stories start with some sort of tragedy. And I agree. I understand where DeMar is coming from, but this has happened all last year to end the NBA season and to start this year. DeMar and Zach say the same things, but their actions, the effort, them being leaders doesn't change. I just don't know what to say. And at some point, like I did say, the list goes on and on, but I really blame Arturas and Mark Eversley for putting this roster together. I mean, especially, I feel bad for Billy Donovan. He's taken all these questions, all these bullets way above his pay grade after every post game and every press conference that really has Arturas and Mark Eversley's names on those questions and those answers. At some point, they need to come out of the shadow and talk about Lonzo Ball's update, his whole issue, the Bulls issue, them not doing enough in this past offseason. They're just sitting back there and not saying a word, and that does bother me. And the second topic in today's video is some more rumors on the Chicago Bulls potentially blowing up this roster. This whole topic and rumor has been going on for maybe a month or two now, and I wasn't really for it, but at some point the Bulls just can't keep waiting for this ship to just correct itself, because I don't see that happening unless there's a major trade. But who wants to trade for most of these players? I mean, DeMar DeRozan definitely has some value. Zach LaVine definitely does, but his play this season hasn't been great. I mean, Vooch is, Vooch. I don't know, and speaking of the rumors about the Bulls blowing up this team, and according to these reports and articles that came out just the other day, there's reportedly some movement on the Chicago Bulls potentially blowing up this team. And it just sucks, man. If the Bulls had their first round draft pick, I'd say blow it up, because we know this team is never going to come close to winning a championship. But it just sucks that the Bulls could blow up this team, be the worst team in the NBA, have the worst record, and still not get their first round draft pick. That definitely sucks. But in this article, an NBA insider was talking about the Bulls' lack of consistency and just their start to this NBA season. And he did say, this is the most competitive we have seen the Eastern Conference in a very long time, and Chicago just doesn't have enough to compete with some of these new teams rising up in the Eastern Conference. Not to mention those at the top right now. One source did tell Fast Break, I'll say this, those so-called quote-unquote rumors out there talking about the Bulls potentially tearing everything apart, there is movement to these talks now, and the Chicago Bulls are actively evaluating themselves and all of their options both to add and move talent ahead of the NBA trade deadline, and that's good to see. I mean, that's kind of obvious that the Bulls are having these talks because it is getting ugly, and I don't see it getting better anytime soon. I mean, just before the Bulls did play and lose to the Timberwolves, this article did come out from Casey Johnson at NBCSportsChicago.com, and he did report saying, to this point, Arturas has shown no, I'd say, indications of a major roster changeup, but there's definitely a lot of other NBA teams in the NBA that are smelling blood, and they're lurking in case that does change. In my eyes, the Bulls need to do something. I don't know what it is. I don't know how to fix this team. That's way above my pay grade. I'm not an NBA GM, but at the end of the day, I honestly feel like Arturas and Mark Eversley don't even know what to do, and that's why they're hiding and being quiet. And the final topic in today's video is some more injury updates on Lonzo Ball and Dosunmu. Like I did say earlier in today's video, Billy Donovan is getting all the hard questions that the Bulls front office should put a statement out talking about the Bulls' rough start to this NBA season and just talking about the whole Lonzo Ball situation. Billy Donovan does not deserve all these questions. This is way above his pay grade in my eyes. I mean, Billy Donovan spoke to Lonzo Ball yesterday, and he did say he's progressing towards running, so that's good to hear. Obviously, there's still no timeline on when he'll be cleared to try running, but then of course, significant ramp-up period for conditioning, which obviously would have to feature him staying pain-free. And Woj did report, I talked about this in one of my past videos, Lonzo, anytime he does try to ramp up, he's still having knee pain, just like last season. Billy Donovan did continue, talking about Lonzo Ball. He said he loves to play. There are some guys where maybe this is a job. He just loves to play. And when you see a guy eager to get back and it's taken away from him, you feel for him. And I agree. I feel awful for Lonzo Ball. And obviously, Dosunmu did play last night versus the Timberwolves, so that was good to see. Billy Donovan did say Io has been cleared to go past the 20-minute limit he had last game, but randomly, Javonte Green did land on the injury report last minute with some more right knee soreness. He was questionable, and then he was marked out last night, last minute. Thank you guys for watching today's video and all that love on the past few videos and the channel. Definitely leave some comments and questions below today's video about all these topics and the Bulls just being really frustrating to watch as of recently.